I'm going to ask our police chief and our fire chief and any other police officers, deputy sheriffs, anybody in law enforcement or has worked as a volunteer firefighter or paid firefighter, please come and stand right down here in the front. All of our firefighters and police officers of the law, come on down. All right. Like many of you, I shall never, as long as I live, forget the sight of 9/11 with people rushing down the canyon of the street in lower Manhattan trying to get away from the buildings, and yet there were people running into those buildings, and you know who they were. They were the firefighters and the police officers. We want to thank these gentlemen here, and a round of applause for all of the people who keep us safe in our cities and our counties. And we're not going to let our chief or our fire chief leave because they're going to come in order now. Police Chief Howard Williams is going to talk to us about the value of honesty. Chief Williams.
First off, I want to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here this evening to represent the men and women of the San Marcos Police Department. I work with an honorable, courageous, and patriotic bunch of people, and I'm proud to serve with them. When they asked me to speak a little bit on honesty, I thought, well, that's probably a good topic for me, because unlike the dean here, I'm not going to make a living with my sterling oratory. I don't have a beautiful singing voice like some we've heard here tonight, and it's pretty clear I'm not going to make it in life on my good looks. So, you know, I had to find something else I could do, and what I learned is that really I'm proud to be a public servant. Public service is a calling. It's not an entitlement, it's not a right, it's a privilege. It means you have entrusted me to work for you, and that's a great honor. But in the line of work that I have, there is nothing more important than our honesty and our integrity. We have nothing more to give than that. That's what we do. And you expect that of your police departments, your sheriff's offices, and you should expect that. You have a right to expect us to be honest. But your expectations shouldn't stop there. Obviously, we need to expect everyone to be honest. That means the people with whom we live, the people with whom we do business, the people who we entrust in public offices. As Americans, we have a right to expect our elected officials, our government officials, to be honest with us. We expect nothing less, and you should accept nothing less.
Right, yeah.
When you don't see that from your public officials, as the President so remarked not too long ago in regards to the health care bill, well, that's what elections are for.
That's right, get them out of here.
I want to thank you all for giving me just a moment to talk to you tonight. I want to say first off, I am proud to be a San Marcos police officer. I am proud to be an old cornball patriot. And I really don't care what the world thinks when I say God bless you all and thank you for letting me be here tonight.
And now our fire chief, Les Stevens, will come and talk to us about the virtue of gratitude.
All right. Thank you, Chief. Thank you.
Good evening. Like Chief Williams, I want to thank you this evening for giving us the opportunity to come out and thank you for giving us the opportunity to serve. And I know that seems a little backwards to some people, but the members of the San Marcos Fire Department and myself really do appreciate the opportunity that you give us each and every day to work for you, to protect you, and we appreciate the support that we get from the city and the community to do that job. I was given the value of gratitude, and it wasn't until yesterday morning that I really was able to wrap my mind around what I wanted to say. I was honored to attend the funeral of a good friend of mine's father. I've known this gentleman for over 30 years and didn't really know a lot about him until yesterday morning. He was just over 88, almost 89 years old. He was a veteran of World War II, and throughout his life he had been a volunteer firefighter, he had been a Mason, numerous other services to the communities in which he lived. And I noticed when the two young sailors folded the flag and presented it to his family, that part of their speech involved on behalf of a grateful nation. And as I researched it, each of the speeches, regardless of military branch, include grateful somewhere in there. And it wasn't just for his service, but in this particular gentleman's case, it was for the fact that he had lived almost 70 years with an injury that he suffered in World War II. He was released from the military with a medical discharge, and he had walked with a limp, and I'd known that, never really asked what it was from. One hand was severely disfigured, also from an injury in the military that I'd never thought to ask about. And it was at that point that it struck me, what is grateful? Grateful is the appreciation for others helping us accomplish or doing something for us that we can't otherwise do for ourselves. And that group of men that was up here earlier from our armed forces, we do appreciate you and we are grateful for your service. And if you would, can we have one more round of applause for those gentlemen, please? Yesterday, as the firefighters were out, most of you probably got stopped. They were out doing Fill the Boot yesterday and today. And one of the things that I noticed a couple of them were doing is as we were stopping people and collecting money for Jerry's Kids and MDA, there were several people that would come through the intersections in military uniforms. And our guys were out there, some of them off duty, doing Fill the Boot. And each time they would see someone in the military, I would hear them express, hey, thank you for your service, or we appreciate your service. And I think that embodies what gratitude and gratefulness is about. It's our appreciation of something that someone does for us. Thank you again for the opportunity to speak this evening. God bless you.
Stop and think with me, ladies and gentlemen, about what will last for